and welcome to Seated. I am Anna, and I don't know why I always have to do some kind of clap in the beginning, but it gets my energy going. Anyways, welcome to Seated. I am Anna, and today I am going to be talking about reclaiming your body. So for reclaiming your body, I think this should really be a part one of a two-part video because it can get really in depth, especially when we talk about kind of the deeper reasons why we get disconnected from our body to begin with. One of the things that I like to do is take a holistic approach when it comes to things like my mental health, injuries, anything that I kind of find that I need to address. I like to look at it holistically. So I like to look at it from like a mind, body, soul perspective. So I'm going to talk about reclaiming your body in that perspective as well. And 3 ways we can start reclaiming our body is through nutrition, fitness, and meditation. All 3 things are really important to do. All 3 things are really important to study in and to understand how this affects your body and your overall health and wellness in your life. So you can look at each one individually or you can look at it all together. And again, like I said, I like to approach things from a holistic perspective because I have an understanding that we are not just this 3D material body, but we are also so much more. So today I want to first go into nutrition. Nutrition and your body is so important. I touched on this topic a bit on in my video when I talk about things I've learned from my 20s. And one of them is really getting in touch with your body and feeding it the foods that it needs. And throughout the month, throughout the year, this may be a different variety of foods, or it may be the same. It all depends on your body, but you may need certain kinds of foods more than others. Some people may have like low sugar tolerance. Some people have gluten allergies. It really depends on your body and your own makeup. But I find that this is something that people are very disconnected to, is how their nutrition is compatible with their body. One of the reasons why I believe that this is so is because our society now is so disconnected with how certain foods affect our body, how certain foods affect our energy. Also, our society has such a large amount of chemicals and unnatural processed foods within our system. On top of that, a lot of the food that we get is from very large corporations whose bottom line is their dollar. So they want to pump out as much food as possible and to get the buyer to purchase it. And one of the ways they do this, for instance, is through GMO foods. And this doesn't mean that like all GMO foods is bad, but what we've seen in our culture is a decline of the nutritional values of our food. So when we're also eating whole healthy foods, but then incorporating a lot of processed foods or not taking into account the chemicals such as pesticides that are on our whole foods and products, we inundate, is that a word? Oh my gosh. We totally flood our body with unnatural and toxic chemicals and food that just like is not good for our body. And so what ends up happening is that our body has to heal itself almost like on a daily basis and purge out. This is why the lymphatic system is so important. Purge out all those toxins that aren't good for our body. On top of that, we already live in this society that's so toxic where the toxicity doesn't just come from our food, it comes from the air we breathe outside. It comes from the interactions we have with one another. It comes from the interactions we have with our government, the interactions we have with our money, the interactions we have with our health. It all is a huge like cycle, and in order to address our body and its needs, we have to really be honest with ourselves with what our body truly needs and what it wants and how this affects our mental health and the people around us and our third dimensional body. So one of the things is you hear a lot of people talk about, oh, moderation this, moderation that. And I do agree, moderation is extremely important. I don't believe that we need to cut out like everything that's bad for us, right? Like I do not believe that doesn't mean you can't have chocolate cake, and that doesn't mean that you can't eat meat. We have to be honest with ourselves with where we're at in our body at this time. And we have to be honest with ourselves what moderation actually looks like. Moderation isn't 1 spoon of Nutella every night. Moderation is, I'm gonna have this big slice of chocolate cake 4 or 5 times a month. You know, moderation doesn't mean that you just have a little bit throughout the day or a little bit throughout the week, but it really means moderation, in moderation. Okay, so next I want to hit on fitness. The reason why I bring up fitness and I'm really passionate about it now is that on my journey through learning about my psychic abilities and diving into psychic work, I realized that I am not giving my body enough attention when it comes to grounding and being what some people say, like in your body. I've always kind of been on and off when it comes to fitness. Like I've worked out sometimes, and then I go through like long bouts where I'm not working out at all. And I realized, especially when I started doing psychic work, is that working out, movement in your body is the best way to ground yourself and to really feel your body and what's going on within it, like the energy of your body. And it's a great way to release energy. It's a great way to release toxins that may be built up. It's a great way to really get your body's physiological system moving and churning. It can perform at its peak because your body regulates so much of your mental chatter. It regulates, you know, so much of your mental body, which one day I'll go more into what the mental body is. But if you're very much in your head, or what I would like to say, like your higher chakras, or you're definitely like you're an overthinker, or you are always, you know, maybe you are going to university right now and you're just always using your brain, you need to balance that out with also using your body. And that was and has been a big lesson of mine, because one of my coping mechanisms and lazy coping skills, something else I will talk about, is that I really like to just like veg out and just like not do anything. And again, in moderation, that is great. In moderation, that is good. And there was times in my life where I really needed to be that way because I was going through really tough circumstances. So the best way for me to really handle what was going on was to, you know, veg out and just chill and really just heal and relax my body. Now, you know, I can't really do that, or I shouldn't really be doing that on a constant basis. And I don't need to do that. I'm like totally fine. Everything's great. So it's like, even when you're going through really stressful times in your life, or really busy times in your life, like you're working really hard towards something, even going out for a walk after doing some really like intense work will help you greatly. Something that is also really helpful is doing yoga or Tai Chi or any kind of low impact exercise. Say if this is not like your thing, like you just do not go to the gym, you don't want to do rigorous exercises, or you just don't have the time, just doing some slow movements to bring awareness into your body, bring awareness into your breathing, and allow your system to really get in touch with this, to allow your system to circulate, is extremely important for your overall health and well-being. The third thing I want to talk about now is meditation. I will forever talk about meditation because this is extremely important, and this is where the soul aspect comes in. We touched on nutrition with the mind and the body, touched on fitness, which incorporates the mind and the body, and now that we're touching on meditation, this incorporates more of the mind, and soul. And these all have feedback loops. So, even just paying attention to one thing, if incorporating all is too much, it will help you with the others. It will strengthen your ability to even do the others. And one small step, right? Just like one small step is really important. So, anyways, meditation. I will talk about meditation forever. It is something that once I incorporated into my life, I saw so much change around me. And I really started doing meditation a lot more after I started tapping into my psychic abilities, because I needed a way to learn how to shut off my mental body or shut down my brain to be able to center myself and connect with my higher self or my genius, God, whatever. All those things or none of those things, it doesn't matter. But you need to be able to bring awareness to yourself and to the now moment. And that is because we are constantly inundated with social media, with what's going on around us, our families, our goals, our future, our past, our, everything, traumas, everything. We are constantly inundated with so much information, so much going on, that we're not always able to be in the now moment. And the now moment is the most important moment. So how you train yourself to bring yourself back to that, what I would also like to call a 0-point frequency, which I will talk about eventually later as well. I'll get more into that. But it allows us to make conscious decisions. It allows us to perform conscious action in our life, and it allows us to connect with other people more authentically, and ourselves more authentically, and the world around us more authentically. Because when you're in your 0-point frequency, you are connected to yourself completely. You're connected to yourself, and you aren't flooded with everybody else's energy and everybody else's stuff. And especially as empaths and very compassionate people, we kind of engross ourselves with other people's stuff all the time. So when we meditate, it's also a form of grounding, and we connect with ourselves and we connect with our 0-point frequency. And it's a nice way for our body to relax, for our mental body to relax, and to shut off everything that's kind of going on around you and center yourself. So with these 3 things, I would say that it would be definitely the first step to reclaiming your body, and how reclaiming your body is so important to be a happy, successful, productive person in the world, especially when we need more people who are loving in nature. We need more people to learn how to fill their own cups. We need people to start stepping up and really showing the way on how to take care of ourselves, which will then show us how to take care of one another, and which then will stop this kind of like fighting and this battle that is constantly going on in the world. And then when we start doing that, we're really able to see the truth of what's going on, the truth of how society is controlling us, how the governments are controlling us, the truth in the really crazy times we are living in, because you can't make decisions for yourself if you don't know the truth. You can't make sovereign decisions unless you know what the truth actually is. And the truth is hidden from us all the time. And maybe if you want to know details about this, you could comment about it, and we could have a more in-depth conversation about more of what's going on in the cult world and the powers that be. I'm not going to talk too much about it in this video because it is a long and deep topic, but this is really the first step in really taking care of your overall health and connecting with your energy and your power inside. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video. Again, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you for getting this far. Have a lovely day. Bye.